This is the bottom of my slabs. I used some quicker drying epoxy, some clear, quick dry epoxy. Cures in about a day or so. That's the brand. It's 2-to-1. I use the fast hardener, and basically this is the bottom. So I sealed up like the big holes on the bottom, some of these small bug holes on the bottom, a couple of these cracks, this crack here, some of those cracks, and then I went ahead and I sealed only the outside edge, just in case epoxy gets in the outside edge and I don't want it to wick into the slab. The actual river edge, I'm going to leave it unsealed. And I want to make sure I get a good strong bond between the two pieces of wood. I'm letting this cure overnight. I got a couple of fans in this garage. My wife is running the washing and drying machine, so my humidity is a little up. Right now I'm at about 80 degrees, well 81 now, it was 80 degrees, sometimes it's 79, 72% humidity, but earlier today it was like 69%. So I'm hoping come the day of the pour, my humidity and temperature is down a few degrees, a few notches, and everything should be fine. I'm gonna have these two fans blowing on the mold. This is what I'm using right here. Epoxy flow cast. It's a deep pour. So my mold, my pour is gonna be 1.5 inches, and that's what they recommend, 1.5 inches. This is the mold all taped up. So melamine board. I did caulking. I did caulking on the outside, underneath, and then the inside. And then I went ahead and I put a strip of tie-back tape right at the seam as well. And you can see it's taped up pretty good. Some of these corners I couldn't get it real, you know, it was a little lumpy. But that's okay, because the edges and stuff you end up shaving down when you get your table out and shave down the edges and plane it. So that should just all clean up. But that's what's going on. The mold is ready to go. I already checked that it's level. So I've got some shims here. What I did was I added an air dam. It's hard to see, but because I got the plastic cloth, but I got a piece of wood, so there's some airflow underneath the mold. And then to shim the table, because my garage has a downslope, so I put these pieces on top of the air dam. I got a shim here. I got a shim under this one. You can't see it because of the plastic. And then my table legs, I had to shim with a piece of wood and a shim itself. Same thing there. And I was able to get it level. So this should be pretty level, but I'm gonna check again once I put the wood in before the pour. I'm gonna just double check everything's level, that something could have shifted. And then I've got some plastic on the ground here taped up on my walkway, that way dust and debris doesn't get stirred up. I kind of cleaned the area out with the broom and my blower. So a lot of the sand, sawdust, or whatever, whatever dust or whatever, I kind of got it out. So this kind of keeps this room from kicking up too much material. So that's it. Tomorrow I'm going to, this should be dry where I can flip it over. It's a little tacky, but it's almost there. Tomorrow I'm gonna do a dam caulk around the bottom so the epoxy doesn't bleed underneath, and I don't waste a lot of epoxy. So I'm gonna dam caulk it with a little one right here, one right here, maybe one right here because there's some big cracks. Flip them over, put it in the mold. When the caulking is nice and wet, so that way it kind of seals. And then on the top, I'm going to do another caulking dam for any like spillover. So you know, like I'm gonna have the caulking down maybe about right here. So when I pour the river, if there's any spillover, it kind of stops and then it doesn't get into too much wood and just stain the wood too much. So I already tested out the color in a cup of water. I'm gonna be using satin pearl and Pacific blue metallic pigment. So we'll see how that comes out. Hopefully my humidity and temperature come down a few degrees. Ready for my pour though. The winds are supposed to be picking up and the humidity is supposed to come down on the day of my pour. At least that's what the weather report said. And it's an enclosed garage. Gonna have the fans blowing. We're not gonna be running the laundry. So hopefully, we'll see. That's why I got this. I can check to see what's going on with the conditions. And then I'm gonna have 2 fans. If I need, I'll have a 3rd fan in on the mold to just kind of keep things cool and keep the humidity away from the mold and keep it down. So that's what's going on. On the top, I did a caulking dam, and so when I pour the resin, hopefully it'll come up. It'll hit this and kind of stop right there. It may shrink a little, so it may come back down, but I'm gonna try and keep it kind of flush. And then once it's done, everything should get planed down, and you know, we'll have a slight, all that excess epoxy on the top will get planed and shaved down, take it to the planer. So that's kind of where I'm at. Up next, I'm going to cut my wood, and I'm going to start making the wood to clamp on. I'm going to wrap it with Tyvek tape, and I want to make sure that the clamps can reach on the table, and it's going to be going across. I'm going to have 6 clamps, 3 on each side, and I'm going to have a board going across. It's going to be clamped down to the table, and that'll hopefully keep this thing from floating up. Plus I got the caulking underneath, so hopefully that'll help create a nice seal. Okay, so getting everything ready. Got the clamps on here. Got some blocks wrapped in Tyvek tape. That way it doesn't stick in case I get an overflow or a spill. And it's all clamped up. Tomorrow I'm gonna pour about dinner time because that's when the temperature is gonna come down a little, so it'll be a little cooler. Hopefully about 78 degrees or so. So tomorrow I'm going to kind of vacuum in this area just in case any dust or bugs settled. Vacuum in over there and over here. And that's it. Just gotta wait for the pour. Hopefully that goes well. First time doing it. The second table here, we draped it in plastic. This is gonna be where all of our pouring is gonna be. Got the epoxy. And some measuring buckets, pigments. So we've got 2 different workstations going on. And then I have 2 fans going on. And I'll be monitoring humidity and temperature once these fans kick in.